the first thing, this is all my ingredients for the harissa. So we're going to be making a chicken thigh with a delicious harissa paste. Now, harissa paste is incredibly simple to do. Let's just go through this. For the main dish, I've got onion. This is going to be chopped tomatoes, some raisins, some lovely cardamom seeds, and some gorgeous cumin again, which I love. And the oil, a little bit of oil, but I'm going to put a little bit of oil in here. And obviously the chickpeas, which will go in as well. Now, I've used tin chickpeas. You can do them yourself, which I obviously do. But I thought this is not about spending hours in the kitchen. This is about doing things quickly. So let's make the harissa quickly. Now, the wonderful thing about this is you can make this harissa and you can literally keep it in the fridge. I mean, it's so much cheaper, so much cheaper. Now, okay, we take this out. I don't mind some pips in there at all. Seriously, I don't mind. That's in there. I'm actually doing this on a board with that, which is not a very good thing to do. So what we'll do is we'll get a little board out here. We'll do the vegetables. So, just very roughly, that's all you need to do. It's very rough. Okay, that's it. Seeds in there. Right, we're now going to put it all in here. And in here, I'm going to pop in some oil just to help make it a little bit smoother. I'm going to put in the ground coriander. Oopsie, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? Never mind. I'm going to put in the sugar. I'm also going to put in the cumin. Also, I'm going to put in some coriander. Right. Now, sometimes I also add a little bit of water. Let's just clear this mess up. You cannot work in mess. Right, there we are. So, a little bit of tomato puree. There you go. I'm going to now turn the machine on. Right, I'm going to pop a little bit more oil in, which is fine, because that will also help keep it in the fridge. Now, I'm also going to move it around a little bit. Gosh, it's delicious. Homemade harissa is a completely different thing. I mean, obviously you can get really good stuff, but I'm going to add, so it moves, I'm going to add some water. Now it's moving, which is what I was after. So a little bit of water is fine, a little bit of oil, which is fine. I'm going to try and get it as fine as I can, and I'm going to put it in the bowl. And then we can get cracking. Look at that, it's so nice. Now it will need some salt, so I'm going to put some salt in there to help bring the flavour out. Done. Now we can pop this into a jar. I'm just going to put this back in here. I mean, as I said, you can buy really good harissa, but making it yourself just gives it that extra special little number, I think. And it's also an awful lot cheaper. It really is. So we're going to pop this in here. There we go. Now, in a jar, this will keep for ages. Absolutely ages in the fridge. I'm just going to taste it. That is quite frankly delicious. Oh my God. Now, we're done. All we're going to do now is cook. I'm going to use this pan. It's not very big, but it's big enough. It's a sauteing pan. And turn it on. Just while that's heating up, I'm just going to make sure I have absolutely everything. I've got my delicious harissa, which is the main ingredient. I've got my 4 thighs. I've also got my stock, and I've also got my cardamom, my onion, and I've also got my tomatoes, which I will chop up. Right, we should be nearly ready now. I'm just going to chop the onion up, so I'm ready to go with them all. So you might as well have, what is so nice is you just get everything ready. So this is good, so we're going to cut this in half. We're going to take the onion skin off, peeling it all around. Oopsie. It's a tough skin. That's it. Perfect. Perfect. Right, now we're going to take this one off. Lovely. Right, so take the sides off. Right. I'm just going to slice. Okay, just literally slice. That's perfect. So it's nicely done. You don't have to hurry these things, all right? They really don't. One doesn't need to try and be clever. Right, we're now going to put the thighs in. I'm using 4 again. Yep. Right, we're going to turn it down a bit. Just let it do its own thing. I may put a tiny bit more oil in. I need to pause. Which will probably do. Right, now I'm going to take, this is ready to be popped in a minute. Right, now we're going to the tomatoes. Now normally I would actually skin them, but I'm not going to today because these are lovely juicy tomatoes, so there's honestly no point. I want to just wipe this and do it from here. You mustn't cross-contaminate, it's really important, so you must make sure that this is really clean. Although it's all going to be cooked together. Okay. Right. So, I'm going to put this on here. Now, to do the concasse, it's always easier is with a knife to take it like that. What we're going to do here, these are doing really nicely. I'm going to put the gummies in one. There we are. So this stage, you just do it all in one go. It's much easier to manage than sort of doing one complete one. Okay. Okay. This is lovely for a stock. Don't waste anything. You don't need to. Use absolutely everything because there's a lot of juice in there. A lot. Okay. Perfect. 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 Right, now I go to the next stage. I'm just going to slice them, you know. I think just slicing is great. I'm using the wrong knife. You can need a bigger knife for this. So basically, it's what, you know, the thing is, it's what you're used to working with. I'm always working with big knives, and I like it. So by taking all these gummings off, you can see it gets the nasty things off and makes everything look so much nicer. Okay. By the time I've done this, I think my chicken will be ready to turn over. And then it's just literally a matter of time. How simple is that? Okay. Okay, that's ready for now. Fine. Now, what I'm going to do is just turn the chicken over. We've got to put the other side. It should be a really nice golden brown. And it's actually stuck, but that doesn't matter. It's actually perfect. It's actually perfect because I don't want it. That's perfect. I just want it like that. Nice golden brown colour without being cooked too hard all over. Okay? Which is meant for different things. So we're going to now just leave that a moment before I add the stock, tomatoes, the harissa. But I need to remove the chicken once they're cooked. So we have to wait for 10 minutes. Right, they're now cooked firmly on the bottom. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is put the onions in. Just literally toss the onions in. Now, with the onions, there we are. With the onions, I'm going to be putting in the cardamom, the cumin, and also, this is the harissa. There we go. Cook them up. That's lovely. I'm going to put in some of this harissa. Now, I'm not going to use it all. There we go. That is going to be quite strong. All right, this is going to be quite strong. But it'll be worth it. So, I'm going to put in half the tomatoes. That's it, leave the rest. Put that in. So I'm cooking the harissa, I'm cooking the tomatoes, it's all in there on a low heat. Now what I'm going to be doing is putting the stock in. And I'm now going to put the raisins in. And now I'm going to put in the chickpeas. Again, bring it up to simmer. And the chickpeas. That's it. Now, I like to keep with the chickpeas. I like to keep the. What I do is I don't rinse it. I've got those lovely juices in there, so I keep those, which is really important. While this is cooking, the chicken will finish off in there. While this is cooking, I'm going to taste it for a little bit first of all, for flavour, see if I want any more harissa. Look at that harissa. Look how lovely that is. I mean, it is literally so simple. I'm now going to that's got harissa. That is quite simply sorry everybody. It is delicious. So what's going to happen, we're just going to bring it up. Definitely doesn't need any more harissa. I'm going to leave that bowl. Now I have to bring this up to the heat. There we are. Then what I'm going to do is, cooking actually is all about patience. It's really important. You've got to be very patient with food because it takes time sometimes, and this is something you just need to do. But look how easy it is. Let me just reiterate it. I just literally cook the lovely thighs. I'm in here. Obviously I'm only doing 4, but they are big thighs, and I think 1 is enough for each person. So I shall put this down so it covers. I want it to really cover. it. So it goes in, really goes in, that's it. So I'm just getting the stuff underneath away. So if I just take this, push it down, push that down. Right. Right, what I'm going to do now is just simmer that on a low heat for about 20 minutes, something like that. About 20 minutes on a low heat, and that will be perfect, absolutely spot on. And that'll be ready to go, and you can serve it with rice, with tabbouleh, with anything you like. You can name it, potatoes, roasted potatoes, what could be nicer. So I'm going to put on the back one, just to sort of bring it in. And I'm not going to put a lid on, because what I want is I want the liquid to reduce slightly so it becomes a slightly thicker. There we are, put it down. Now it's going. So let's just put that in there and let's just forget about it. What I'd like to do now is just remove the chicken from this sauce, because I think I'd like to reduce it right down. It's got too much in there at the moment. That's it. There we go. Right, and I'm just going to reduce that for a second, then I'll put it back. But this is important, that the fact is you don't want it quite literally liquidy, you want it reasonably dry. So I'll come back to that in about 5 minutes. I'm going to be putting it into this dish. So we know it's cooked, so I'll just put it back in a minute, but just for 1 second, just to, because what happens is during it's resting there, the liquid has also come out of it as well. So again, there we are. Perfect. What I'm going to do now is bring this in, and I'm going to serve it. I mean, this is for 2 or 4 people, but they are very nice sizes. I'm now going to put in, I'm actually going to put in this bit of tomato that I had sitting there, the other half. Now the reason being is because it looked very vibrant and I want that. So I want to go all over the top. And you put a little bit extra a little bit later. There you go. There's your, let's just see it. You want to see the chicken? Right, turns off. I'm going to take a little bit of this parsley I chopped earlier. Now, you can serve that with some rice, some potato, some delicious stuff. So these are my delicious chicken thighs with chickpeas, homemade harissa.